question.
So MJ is saying, do you think Noam Chomsky sometimes goes overboard in his anti-America views? If he can give an interview to Mohammed Hijab, he should be coming to your show too. Please invite him. Oh, I didn't know he was giving an interview to Mohammed Hijab, but yeah, I'll reach out to him. It'd be great. Noam Chomsky's always been I've always really looked up to him. I was liked him. I think that a lot of his criticisms of U.S. foreign policy have been absolutely spot on. There are others that have been just absolutely spot off, I guess, like whatever the opposite of spot on is. I mean, they've been completely inaccurate. I remember when bin Laden was killed and that raid happened, he said that this is like the Taliban coming into Texas and then taking out George W. Bush, which is just completely, that was like a juvenile comparison. So there's times when he's been completely off the mark. But he always makes me think. It's kind of interesting. I think recently one of the problems is that he's become predictable. I can always guess his position on a certain issue. Actually, no, that was happening for some time. But now recently he did come out against the whole woke thing. Like he signed the Harper's letter. And he is a huge advocate of free speech. And he's a huge advocate of secularism. He also was very critical of Pakistan in a live stream that he did with a Pakistani, I think it was a university or something, where he talked about how the religiosity, the hyper religiosity in Pakistan is going to be devastating for it in the future. So he's one of those guys. He's just kind of like an independent thinker in a lot of ways. I don't think I think often he's typecast in certain ways, but yeah, I do think sometimes he goes overboard, but most of the time he's spot on. Harris Sultan is saying, I'm saying this because it's a comment. He's saying,
no, just spell it out instead of.
He's saying, F you, Armin.
Okay. I don't know what that is in response.
Yeah, you're censoring me. I have to do that, but this guy can't come to Australia. Kidding. I'm just kidding. Susanna is saying, it's always only you who hears echo. He's saying this to Armin. Armin, yeah, okay. Let's go on. So Matthew is saying, who is your favorite Muslim apologist and why, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, mine is so easy. Daniel Hayraju, for sure.
Oh, favorite Muslim apologist?
Yeah, for sure.
Is he really an apologist? I mean, he's more of a sort of a proselytizer.
He defends Islam. What's the difference?
Well, I mean, everybody who's like a hardcore Muslim is going to defend Islam. I think when I think of apologists, I think of sort of liberal, secular type people who apologize for Islam, like Glenn Greenwald.
Apologist has nothing to do with the word apology.
I know the academic. You're talking about the academic thing, like Islamic apologetics. Yeah, I know. I would say I gotta say I really, really like the book No God But God by Raza Aslan. And as annoying as I think he is outside of the books that he writes, I think that Zealot and No God But God were great books. So I think that as long as he's writing books, not doing anything else, I'd say that he's actually fun to read. I enjoy reading Raza Aslan. Some good ideas.
I'm trying to find. Oh, there we go.
Muscal's Corner saying, what was the reason you both stopped believing in faith? Armin, go first.
Lack of evidence, history, and biology.
Yeah. For me,
wait. Believe in faith or believe in God? Okay, wait. Actually, this is a different kind of question. Stop believing faith. Yeah, because it's a useless methodology that gives you random results that has no predictive power and that is not repeatable. And it's like, yeah. So sorry, I answered a different question. Yeah, you're talking about the methodology. Why would it has never been proven to be used to produce any results that is consistent with objective reality. I mean, if any methodology gives you results that are consistent with objective reality, they should give you some predictive power. When has faith actually given you any predictive power? When has it given you models that are not self-contradictory? When has it given you any form of like a usefulness, like that goes back to like anything, produces anything that actually could produce, like for example, if you look at science from a methodology, the fact that it works could be demonstrated by technology, right? And all the fact that it's not repeatable, right? Like if you reapply the same methodology when it comes to faith 1,000,000 times, you're always going to get different results based on your background, based on this cultural background, based on this people that you are, the background of the history of the people that religion is being grown in, based on the faith on religions that no religion comes out of a vacuum, right? So given that it's so dependable on the environment, the results are so dependable on the environment, it shows that it's a very unreliable methodology to come up with any form of conclusions. But yeah, that was
Yeah, I think the faith, like I agree with that. And I put another thing simply is faith is basically like believing in rumors. Like the chair I'm sitting on, it's a chair. It's knowledge when it's there, right? But faith means that I'm not going to prove this to you in any way. There's no proof of this. You can't see it. You can't hear it and everything. I just want you to believe it, which is a really dumb thing when we apply it to anybody else. If anybody came up to you and asked you to believe in anything because of those reasons, just because they want you to believe it without any evidence, you tell them to get out of here, right? But with religion, it turns out to be somewhat of a virtue. People think that it's a good thing to take that leap of faith and believe things without evidence. So
I do think also that this is a wrong question to ask. Okay, so when you say what was the reason you somebody stopped believing in faith, the reason shouldn't be offered by people who don't use faith as a methodology. The reason should be offered by the people who are using it as a methodology to come up with truth. Like they are using it, and they are the ones who should be offering the reasons why they're using it, right?
Yeah.
They are the ones that need to demonstrate that this is a reliable way of coming up with conclusions.
Yeah, and as far as you're talking about religion, I stopped believing it, not only because it didn't have any evidence, but because everything I was learning about reality, like the study of nature, which is called science, everything I was learning about it was actually contradicting. There's evidence against all the stuff that I was reading in religion. It wasn't even lack of evidence. It was contrary evidence to what was there. So eventually just couldn't reconcile the two.
Hey guys, if you want to join these streams live, get your comments and questions read by Ali and Armin and the guests, and most importantly, to get full access to the full video versions of all these episodes, become a patron. Link in the description below.